Good day, everyone. I am Clint Mark Montejo, and now we are going to report the Chapter 8, which is the PNP General Policy and Guidelines on Dispute Resolution, Public Assembly, and Demolition and Ejectment Order. First is dispute resolution. Dispute resolution refers to a number of processes used to resolve a dispute between parties. So, meaning to say, daghan nga process, daghan nga way in solving a dispute between two parties. So what is dispute, no? Dispute is a disagreement or like big conflict between two parties. And dispute resolution is a way of resolving a conflict or a dispute between two parties without having to go to a court. And dispute resolution is also known as a dispute settlement. Next is types of dispute resolution. So number one is litigation. So when we say litigation, is the process of taking legal action. So it refers to the process of resolving dispute by filing or answering in a complaint through the public court system. So muna ang litigation. Mag-adto mo sa court. Like didto mo mag-resolve sa inyong dispute. And number two is alternative dispute resolution. So it refers to the procedure by settling dispute without litigation, without going to court, such as arbitration, mediation, or negotiation. Next is alternative dispute resolution system. Means any process or procedures used to resolve a dispute or controversy other than adjudication or presiding judge of court or any officer of a government agencies. Neutral third person participates to assist in the resolution of issues including arbitration, mediation, conciliation, early neutral evaluation, mini trial, or any combination thereof. Next is types of alternative dispute resolution. Number one is arbitration. So what is arbitration? It is a voluntary dispute resolution process in which one or more arbitrators appointed in accordance with the agreement of the parties or rules promulgated pursuant to RA 9285 resolve an issue by rendering an award. So meaning the process ng arbitration is ang mahimong third party, no, or ang mahimong arbitrator is gipili, like ang both parties ang magpili kung kinsa ang ilahang arbitrators. So muna siya. And then sa arbitration process, ang ang final decision is magikan sa arbitrator. Magikan sa arbitrator ang decision, dili magikan sa parties. So next is ang mediation. When we say mediation, a voluntary process in which a mediator selected by disputing parties. So ang disputing parties gyapon ang magbuot kung kinsa ang mahimong mediators para sa ila. Facilitate communication and negotiation and assist the parties in reaching the voluntary agreement regarding a dispute. Settlement is made by parties. So ang mediator nga gipili sa duha ka parties is only facilitate communication and negotiation. Magtabang lang siya sa duha ka parties para ma-solve. Dili siya magbuhat, dili magikan sa iya ang solusyon. Third party cannot make a proposal. So dili magikan ang third party sa mediator, which is ang ang third party sa mediation, which is ang mediator, cannot make a proposal. Dili magikan sa iya ang final decision. So next is number 3, the conciliation. Involves the assistance of neutral third party who plays an advisory role in reaching agreement. So third party can make proposal. So mediation and conciliation is medyo same sila, and ang ilahang gikalahian lang is ang third party nila, which is ang conciliation can make proposal while ang mediation cannot make a proposal. So muna ang gikalayan nilang tulo. Ang arbitrator sa arbitration, ang arbitrator is didto magikan sa iya ang decision. Sa mediation, ang mediator cannot make a decision. Then ang conciliation, ang third party can make a proposal. So Mao na ang types of alternative dispute resolution. Next is labor disputes. Labor disputes refers to any controversy or matter concerning terms and conditions of employment or the association or representation of persons in negotiating, fixing, maintaining, changing, or arranging through the terms and conditions of employment, regardless of whether the disputants stands in the proximate relation of employer and employee. Next is strikes, picketing, and lockouts. Labor disputes can lead to labor strikes or and lockouts. So, strikes refers to a temporary stoppage of work by the concerted action of the employees as a result of an industrial or a labor dispute. So, there is a strikes. Workers stop working to protest something. Usually, ang lagi na protest is low pay, bad working conditions, or unfair treatment. So, example is uh, factory workers kanang walk out or nag walk off the job because they want a higher wages, gusto sila dako nga sweldo. So, mo na siya ang strikes. So, next is ang lockouts. It is the temporary refusal of an employer to furnish work as a result of industrial or labor dispute. So there is a lockout. The company refuse to let workers work even if they want to pressure them into accepting the company terms. So example is a company shutdowns its plans to force workers to accept lower pay. So, mo na siya ang lockouts. So, in order to exercise the right to strike or the right to lockouts, two grounds two grounds ang need para nga ma-valid ang exercise para ma-valid ang right to strike or right to lockouts. So, unsa ni sila? Which is ang unfair labor practice o ang bargaining deadlock. So, ang kaning bargaining deadlock is failure to agree on the terms and conditions of a collective bargaining agreement between the management and the union. So, dili sila magkasinabot. So, muna ang bargaining deadlock, dili magkasinabot sila ang management and the union. Next is peaceful picketing. It is the right of workers during strikes consisting of the marching and from before the premises of an establishment involved in labor disputes, generally accompanied by the carrying a display of signs, uh, placards, and banners with statement relating to the disputes. Like, ang kaning peaceful picketing is kanang protest na siya, like standing outside the workplace with a sign to protest and spread for awareness of the issue. So, like kanang kung unsa ilang hinanakit sa ilang kumpanya is mo na ang ilahang welga or mo na ang ilang ginabuhat ang picketing. Next is different forms of labor strikes. Temporary stoppage of work due to labor disputes has different forms. So number one is legal strikes. One called for a valid purpose and conducted through means allowed by law. So gibuhat nilang strike into legal process. So they follow the legal process. So number two is illegal strike. So one stage for a purpose not recognized by law, or if it is if it is for valid purpose conducted through means not sanctioned by law. So for example is workers suddenly walk out without giving notice or getting union approval even though issue isn't urgent. So muna ang illegal strike. So they break the law for striking. So number three is economic strike. So one stage by workers for to force wage or other economic concession from the employer which he is not required by law to grant. So example sa economic strike is employees demands a raise even though their company isn't legally required to give one. They go on the strikes to pressure the employer. Ang kaning economic strike is it's about wages or benefits. Number four is unfair labor practice strike. So one called to protest against the employer's acts of an unfair practice enumerated in Article 248 of the Labor Code, as amended, including the gross violation of collective bargaining agreement and union busting. So example sa unfair labor practice is the company fires workers for joining a union. In response, the remaining workers strike to protest this unfair action. So ang nagbuhat aning unfair labor practice is ang employer. So the employer violates the law. So muna ang unfair labor practice. Number 5 is slow down strike. On one stage, without the workers quitting their work but merely uh, slackening or by reducing their normal work output. So kaning slowdown strike is basically gatrabaho gyapon ang workers but ginatuyo nila og pahinay. They are working slowly on purpose. So instead of stopping work, delivery drivers take longer routes and reduce the number of deliveries they make per day. So mo na ang slowdown strike. Number 6 is wildcat strike. On declared and staged without filing the required notice or strike and without the majority approval of the recognized bargaining agent. So example of wildcat strike is a group of workers suddenly walk out without telling their union or following the proper steps, usually out of anger over sudden issue. So it is not planned or approved ang kaning wildcat strike. And then number 7 is set down strike. One where the workers stop working but do not leave their place of work. So example, the factory workers stop working but stay inside the building to prevent the employer from hiring replacements or continuing productions. So they sit down at work without working. So that is the sit down strike. Next is legal requirements in conducting strikes and lockouts. The exercise of the rights to strikes or lockout shall be subject to the following requirements. So first is dapat ang issue nga i-raise is related sa unfair labor practice is dapat at least 15 days ma-file na siya sa Labor Department. And then if ang issue is involved bargaining deadlock is dapat at least 30 days ma-file na siya sa Labor Department. And then dapat ang lockout o ang strikes shall be supported by a majority votes of a member or a union of the members of the board or directors of the corporations, associations, partnership obtained by a secret ballot in a meeting called for the purpose. And then strikes or lockout vote shall be reported to the Labor Department at least 7 days before the intended strike or lockout.
Good morning, sir. Ang topic is unfair labor practices. According to the Labor Code of Philippines 1974, unfair labor practices violate the constitutional right of workers and employees to self-organization, are inimical to the legitimate interests of both labor and management, including the right to bargain collectively and respect, disrupt industrial peace, and hinder the promotion healthy and stable labor. So, muna siyang usually kakahitabo diri sa Pilipinas, especially sa dagko nga company. Ginahatagan sila og unfair nga treatment. Mga sweldo nila is baba kaayo, tapos high standard. And also, ang uban ani is dili ginahatag ang ilang 13-month pay or kanang ilang mga bonuses. Example na lang ani is na ay gusto mareklamo or mga empleyado nga gusto gareklamo or something like example na ay gusto magreklamo busa gabuhat sila rally or gawelga sila para nga ihatag sa ilang sakto nga sweldo or mga bonuses or 13-month pay rather. Tapos ginabantaan sila sa ilang management nga ipatanggal sila o mag-apil-apil sila ana nga organization or advocacy about sa mga workers. So dirita karon sa unfair labor practices of employers. So natay 9 kabuok na unfair labor practice of employers. The first is interfering with, retaining, or correcting employees in the exercise of their right to self-organization. Interfering with or paghahadlang or ginabutan sila or ginapunggan sila, relating or correcting sila kung unsang ilang dapat buhaton. But in the labor code, workers have the right to form, join, or participate in labor union. Employers are not allowed to stop them, threaten them, or force them to leave or not to join. So example ana is usa ka ang manager or ang employer usa ka employee nga gusto mag-appeal sa union. Kaya lagi gusto po siya mag-advocacy kay gamay ra ang sahod. Tapos bantaan din siya na if you join the union, you will be fired or demoted. So mahadlok ang usa ka tawo. So ginabutan sila. Ginapunggan sila para mo appeal ana nga advocacy. And number 2, requiring as condition of employment that person or an employee shall not join or labor organization or shall withdraw from one to which he belongs. So ang employer cannot force worker to avoid joining a union or force them to leave one. So dili makabuot ang employer nga dapat dili ka mo appeal ana or dili ka mag-appeal ana para dili ka matanggal sa trabaho or dili kung mag-appeal man galing ka ana ipatanggal ka yan bitaw. Example, Maria, a retail store, wants to join a union to advocate a better working or condition and wages. So ang example is nagkuanda siya, nagreklamo siya or nagsulod siya rather sa union advocacies para sa working condition or wages or gusto ba siya mag-increase og sweldo or kanang dugay na kay siya wala gyapon siya increase sa sweldo. So here employer cannot tell Maria she'll be fired or demoted if she joins the union. So dili siya matanggal sa trabaho kung mag-appeal siya ana. Kay iya man ang rights na may reklamo, especially kung dugay na siya tapos wala siya gidagdagan og sweldo kay as the government na siya every 3 years nagin siya add nga sahod nga like 20 pesos, 20 pesos, 12 pesos, Okay, number 3, conducting out of service a function being performed by union members which is when such will interfere with, restrain, or coerce employees exercise in the right to self-organization. So employers cannot give jobs that union workers usually do to outsiders just to weaken the union. So dili pwede nga magpasulod lang diretso ang mga employers nga non-members para lang magtrabaho sa katong ginabuhat sa mga members sa union. Example is there is a company nga nanginahanglan og operator sa heavy machine working on electrical installation. So imbis na workers ang magbuhat ang iyang gipabuhat is mga non-union members tapos mga outsiders or dili sila mga workers sa workers sa company rather. Tapos muna siya ang mga unfair ang labor sa mga employers. Then number 4, initiating, dominating, assisting, and otherwise interfering with the formation and administration of any labor organization, including the giving of financial or support to it and its organization or supporters. So, employers cannot control or influence the workers' union. So, dili sila maka-initiate or dili nila hadlangan kung unsay gusto sa ka-employers kung mag-appeal ba siya sa union nga organization. Example ana, Number 4, they cannot control the union's decision or actions. So dili gina nila mapunggan kay ila man ang decision. Kung magwelga sila, wala sila mahatag ana nga control para magreklamo kay ila man ang rights. Number 5, discriminating in regards to wage, hours of work, and other terms of condition of employment in order to encourage or discourage membership in any labor organization. Okay? Muna sila ang dili ginahatagan o equality sa pagtrabaho. Ang example ani is nay usa ka empleyado, nay duha ka empleyado which is John and Mike. Gatrabaho sila sa saktong oras or the same work. Tapos ang isa sila or si John ba is member sa union. So ang matabo ana kay unfair labor practices of employers man atong ginatakal diri is taas ang salary ni Mike kaysa kay John because kay na-appeal siya sa union members. So mo to ang pagtrato sa ilaha, mali kito siya. Mali to siya but dili na to sila mapunggan kay sila man ang employer. Number 6 is dismissing, discharging, or prejudice as discriminate against the employee for having given or being about to give testimony under the labor code. So, sa Pilipinas is dagan kayo tabuana, especially sa Rapi Tulfo. Dagan kayo reklamo about sa mga ingana nga mga issue. But ang mga employee or ang company dili na nila pwede i-fire or panishan nila ang mga labor related or mga worker. Dili nila dapat ma-punish ana kay sakto man ilaha nga nagreklamo sila kay para man po na sa ilaha o kahatag pangayo ra po sila justisya about sa ilang trabaho. Number 7, violating the duty to bargain collectively as prescribed by the labor code. So diri, ang example ani is a union requests wage increases. The employer must negotiate with the union considering this proposal and providing justification for their position. So diri na mahatag ang dapat ang company ihatag yun nila kung unsa ang para sa mga workers and employees. Number 8, paying negotiation of attorney's fees and union or its officer or agent as part of the settlement of any issue is collective bargaining or any dispute or any other dispute. Diri na naghatag naman sila union request about the wage increase. So diri makipag-negotiate ng union sa employer or sa management or company. And if the union negotiates the settlement, so ang magbayad din ana is attorney's fee. Sa attorney's fees ang magbayad ana is ang employer or ang company, dili ang employee kay ilaman silang cover man nila ang employee. Number 9, violating a collective bargaining agreement. So diri na magawas ang ginatawag nato nga CBA or collective bargaining agreement. So unsa man ning collective bargaining agreement? So mo ni siyang contract nga ilang contract between the employer and employees. So kung nasulat dito nga contract is they have free uniforms, na sila SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, 13-month pay, bonuses, and etc. Tapat mo to ilang sundon. Dili nito nila dapat i-violate. Pero diri sa ating unfair labor practice of employers is gina-violate nila, dili nila ginahatag ang para sa mga workers and employees. Dapat i-follow gini sa mga sa employer ang CBA nga ilang gihatag sa mga workers nila. Procedure in collective bargaining. So unsa man ang collective bargaining? Muna siya ang issue about wages and etc. mga benefits, tapos mga dapat makuha nila ang mutual agreement or mutually acceptable agreement. Okay? The first is, when a party desires to negotiate an agreement, it shall serve a written notice upon the other party with statement of its proposal. So, kung gusto siya makipag-negotiate sa usa ka other party, is dapat magbuhat siya og written notice or a statement na naka-introduce dito ang parties involved and purpose of the notice and complete name, just like a love letter na diya tanan. Naka-indicate ang date, address, ngalan sa tao, kung asa ipadala o kinsa nagpadala na diya tanan. Number 2, should differences arise on the basis of such notice and reply, either party may request for a conference which shall begin not later 10 days. So, number 2. 3. If nahatag na ang notice basis nila ang notice, tapos it is not later than 10 days. So, dili pa mahuman ang 10 days. Dapat makabuhat na sila o conference, or kung may request sa other party nga mag-conference, dapat mahitabo siya within 10 days or dili siya mula pa sa 10 days. Number 3. If the dispute is not settled unsa may buhaton sa board. So the board is diri mosulod ang conciliation meetings. What is conciliation meetings? Ang conciliation meetings is our form of ADR, where a neutral third-party facilitator helps party in conflict to negotiate and reach a mutually acceptable agreement. Ang conciliation meetings is na conciliator or the facilitator na mag-explain or explore the solution or mag-explain sa ila kung unsan dapat buhaton, but dili ay mag-explain siya o mag-explore siya sa mga solution, ihatag nila kung unsa ang mga solution nga pwede buhaton, but dili siya ang mag-decide, unlike the arbitrator. Number 4. During the conciliation proceedings in a board, the parties are prohibited from any doing act which is may disrupt or impede the early settlement of the disputes. So, unsa man ang mga prohibited, dapat dili magtaas ang boses. Kay gusto man sila settlement, dapat kalma ang ilang settlement. Dapat hapsay. Dira masugod ang dapat po walay bias. Example is ex parte communication. So, dapat walay bias. Kay dili pwede nga makikommunicate ang other party or private communication between the one party and the conciliator. Bawal na siya, kay mahimo na siyang bias. So, is the disclosure of confidential information. So, maghatag ang other party og mga sensitive information. Threats or intimidation. I-threat niya mong other party nga yung ani kung sa imong buhaton, dapat ka na yung buhaton, kay kung dili ni mo buhaton, patyon ta ka. Mga threats or intimidation rather. Refusal to participate. Nag-agree ka na magbuhat mo about sa conciliation meetings, nag-agree ka about pero wala ka ni support sa meetings or wala ka ni attend sa meeting. Mispresentation. Sa manang mispresentation, maghatag kag false information or misleading informations. And number 5, the board shall exert all efforts to settle disputes amicably and encourage the parties to submit their case into a voluntary arbitrator. So, ang board is ihatag nila tanan or buhatan nila tanan para masolusyonan ang ilang problema. So, if dili masobat, so hatagan sila chance nga mag-submit sila dito sa voluntary arbitrator or sa korte. Dito na lang nila i-settle ang ilang problema para ma-settle sila or ma-gain nila ang mutually acceptable agreement. PNP General Policy Guidelines on Labor Disputes. According to the PNP Operational Procedure Manual 2021, the policy guidelines of all PNP personnel are follows. Number 1. The involvement of PNP personnel during strikes, lookout, and labor disputes in general shall be limited to the maintenance of peace and order, enforcement of laws, and implementation of legal orders of duly constituted authorities. So, limited gyapon sila bisang pag sila ang ga-enforce sa laws, sila ang ga-maintain sa peace and order, also the public safety of the society. Example in the maintaining the peace and order is this means ensuring the situation remains calm or preventing harm or violence. Number 2. In case of actual violence, the police can respond without the writer request. So, ang nanagid sa PNP nga sila ang mag-prevent sa harm or mag-maintain sa peace and order. So, if naamang galing riot nga mahitabo, sila ang responsible anak ng mga panghitabo. Number 3. No PNP personnel shall be allowed to render police assistance in connection with a strike or lookout if there is question or complaint as regards of his or her relationship by affinity and consanguinity to any official or leader of the parties in the controversy of he has financial or pecuniary interest therein. So, dili pwede maka-escort ang personnel sa iyang ig-aga or parinting nga naapili sa usa ka labor disputes. Example, na usa ka police nga na siya ig-agaw nga or parente nga naapil anang labor disputes or na nagwelga tungod sa iya kay wala niya gihatag ang para sa mga tao. So dili siya pwede maka-escort ana. Number 4. PNP personnel detailed as peacekeeping force in strike or lookout area shall be wear the prescribed police uniform. So if mag-apil man galing or if naaman galing ang mga PNP personnel, dapat naka-uniform yun na sila sa ilang gihatag sila or the police uniform. Dili na sila pwede nga moadto lang sa usa ka strike or picket nga dili naka-uniform. Kay dili na sila mailhan ngayon police if dili sila magsuot sa ilang uniform. And number 5. They shall maximum tolerance when called by the situation or all other peaceful or non-violent means have been exhausted. Police officers may employ such means as may be necessary and reasonable to prevent, repel, an aggression. So number 5, dapat ang police must be patient and avoid force. But if peaceful methods fail and aggression occurs, they may be used only force necessary and reasonable to stop the violence. So, as you can see sa mga balita, di ba? Lagyo na kaya mga police, tapos na sila ginagamit na shield para sa mga galarali, para lang ma-prevent ang harm. But if dili na gila makaya, as nagsulong na ang mga gawelga ang nagwelga or ang mga employer or ang mga tao, diyan na sila magamit ang force. Number 6. The matter of determining the strike, picket, or lookout as legal should not be left to the Department of Labor and Employment, DOLE appropriate agencies. So, ang DOLE ra dapat ang mag-determine if legal ba na ang strike or dili. Kay sila man ang ga-settle sa disputes and protect the workers' right. And ang PNP personnel should not interfere in a strike, picket or lookout except as herein provided. So dili gyapon na magpataka ang PNP personnel nga magpugong sa strike, picket or lookout except gitugutan sila. Number 7. No personnel escort shall be provided to any parties of controversy unless upon written request from DOLE. So, Tanan gabuhaton sa PNP personnel that connected sa Dolly is kailangan yun na siya written request. Ang example na is na company nga mag-request og police escort sa ilang mga trucks, sa ilang mga products, and etc. But ang PNP nag-refuse kay wala sila nadawat nga written request. So, ang trabaho sa Dolly is maghatag og written request para if ever na magpa-escort, pwede sila ma-escortan. Kaya naman sila written request. Kaya if wala sila written request, dili siya pwede ma-escort. Number 8. During dependency or strike, look at personnel concerned are prohibited from socializing with any parties that involved in the controversy. So, ang mga PNP personnel or all officers on duty remain in uniform and are instructed not to mingle or socialize to avoid suspicious of the bias. So, dili na pwede sila magkipag-socialize para avoid na pod sa issue nga kana siya nga police baka or personnel is connected ani nga tao. Dili sila ma-suspectionan kay pwede sila ana issue o pwede sila ana mareklamo. Number 9. Liaison shall establish and maintain representatives of Dolly management and union in a strike. Look out for the purpose of maintaining the peace and order. So, tara na. PNP establishes regular coordinating meetings or liaisons with DOL. Makipag-meeting na sila sa mga DOLE para kung unsay pangbuhaton sa strike or nabay mga picket nga mahitabo. The union leaders and company representatives to monitor the situation and encourage peaceful dialogue. So, kung sa dapat ilang buhaton para dili magamit ang force or mahatag ang para ma-maintain ang peace and order, dili magkagubot. And number 10, the peacekeeping detail shall establish a command post outside the 50-meter radius from the picket line. So, atong makita, dapat layo ra gid ang mga personnel or PNP personnel or the peacekeeping are the maintain of peace and order or mga enforcement. So, layo ra gid sila. Makita nimo sa balita nga naay katong mga dala og shield is layo ra gid sila sa layo na gid sila sa mga tao. Nara gid sila about 50 meters kalayon. 50 meters sila kalayon. Then nara sila murag just like ginasulod nga metros para lang malaya sila sa picket line o ma-reduce ang picket nga mahitabo or kay maintain naman sila sa peace and order, dapat dili pa sila magamit og force if not necessary. Marato. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Harold V. Castañares. Today, I'm going to discuss about the policies in dealing with public assembly. Number 1. The PNP will respect and protect human dignity, maintain and uphold the human rights of all persons, and limit the use of force to situations where it is strictly necessary and to the extent required to the performance of their duty. So, ang PNP kung naay mahitabo nga public assembly, so ang PNP sila ang manage para walay gubot mahitabo o maprotektahan nila tong mga tao nga nag-appeal ato na activity, and then ay sa sila mo gamit sa ilahang force if really necessary kung ang gatong panghitabo sa public assembly is nanay na itabo nga violent, ay sana ang PNP sila mo gamit og force, but ang force na ilang ginagamit is kanang needed lang para ma-hapsay ang panghitabo. Number 2, public assembly. held in freedom parks or on private property do not need a permit for the activity. So, the public assembly is a gathering of people in a freedom park or private place, and this gathering does not need permit for the activity. Number 3. The PNP shall provide police assistance only when requested by the leaders or organizer for maintenance of peace and order to ensure the safety of those participating in the public assemblies held in freedom parks or on private property. So, the PNP, they are not allowed to interfere on their own in public assembly. So, ang PNP, bawal yun sila mag-interfere or maghilabot sa hibgayon nga public assembly kung wala sila gi-request. But they can step in only if the organizer asks for their help in ensuring the safety of everyone. But kung ang ilahang presence is gi-request na sa leader or organizer para mag-maintain sa peace and order to ensure the safety of everyone, ay sara ang PNP maka-interfere na sila ana. Number 4. A public assembly held in a public place must have a permit from the mayor of the city or municipality exercising jurisdiction over the place where it will be held. So, kung naay may tabo nga public assembly sa public nga lugar, kinahanglan sila mukuha og permit sa mayor para kana nga activity na ilahang gipahigayon sa public na lugar mahimo siya og hapsay, linaw og walay gubot. Number 5. A public assembly held with or without permit may be peacefully dispersed. So kung naay public assembly na gakahitabo na may permit or wala, dapat maundang siya nga peaceful nang maundang ang ilang pag-gathering ana na kuan nga lugar nga kalma og walay violente na nahitabo. Number 6. Lightning demonstration or rallies in areas where public assembly is prohibited shall be dispersed peacefully. So kung naay nahitabo nga demonstration or rally ana na lugar nga bawal siya rallyhan, ang pulis sila pwede na nila ipaundang pero sa pamaagi nga peaceful og walay violente na gakahitabo. Number 7. Ground commanders are responsible for determining whether there is a permit for the holding of the public assembly. So, the ground commander, their duty is to check if the public assembly has a permit before allowing it to continue. So, ang ground commander daw kuno, siya ang responsibilidad sa pagdetermine kung kana nga aktibidad is na permit ay sa niya ipa-allow nga ipa-continue, ipahuman. Number 8. Close coordination with the mayor of the city or municipality or his representative where the public assembly is being held should always be maintained, especially when a permit has not been issued but an application has been filed prior to the holding of the public assembly. So, the police must always coordinate with the mayor on their representative, especially if people applied for a permit but it hasn't been approved yet, to ensure the assembly is handled peacefully and properly. So, ang police daw, kinanglan sila perminti mag-coordinate sa mayor or sa representative sa mayor para may balaan kung kana nga mga tao na magkuhan og public assembly is nag-apply na ba sila sa permit pero wala pa na aprubahan para katong ilahang ipahigayon nga public assembly is ma-handled sa mga police aron peaceful o walay gubot nga mahitabo ana nga aktibidad. Number 9. Maximum tolerance shall be exercised in the conduct of this dispersal operation. So, when dispersing a public assembly, the police must practice maximum tolerance, meaning they should stay calm, patient, and avoid using force unless it's really necessary. So kung naay paundang operasyon sa public assembly, ang pulis dapat ilhang ma-practice ang maximum tolerance, meaning dapat kalma sila, patient, og i-avoid nila ang paggamit og pwersa unless it's really necessary. Kung kinahanglan na gyud na mogamit sila og pwersa, dapat sila mogamit kung grabe na gyud ka violent ang gakahitaboan na lugar. Police response. Number 1. During planning stage, A. Initiate dialogue with the leaders, organizers to ensure the peaceful holding of a public assembly, including, among others, the detail of police personnel providing security in the area. So, before the public assembly happens, the police should talk with the leaders or organizer to agree on how to keep the event peaceful, including how police will provide security in the area. So, kung naay mahitabo nga public assembly, dapat makikoordinate ang organizer sa ana na activity dito sa mga police para masabutan nila kung unsay ma-provide sa police nga security ana na area para ma-prevent ang mahitabo nga dili maayo. B. Prepare appropriate security and CDM contingency plan. So, the police must make a security and crowd control plan to be ready in case problem happen during the public assembly. So, dapat ang police prepare sila o dapat nana sila security and crowd control plan kung naay mahitabo nga dili maayo. Number 2. During initial and peaceful stage, with permit or held in freedom parks, private properties, the PNP shall not interfere with the holding of a public assembly. If a public assembly is peaceful and has a permit or is held in freedom park or private property, the police should just allow it to continue without interference. So, kung ang nahitabo nga public assembly is na sila permit, dapat ang police bawal na sila manghilabot ana o dapat ilhanang ipahuman ilang ipakontinue nga walay interfere na hitabo gikan sa ilaha. Without permit or permit has been revoked. As soon as it becomes apparent that an assembly is being held in a public place, the ground commander shall immediately conduct an inquiry whether the assembly is covered with permit or not. So, if the public assembly is happening in a public place without a permit, or if the permit was cancelled, the commander must check and confirm it if the gathering rally has no valid permit. So, kung walay permit nga, kung ang public assembly wala sila permit or ang ilhang permit is na-cancelled, dapat ang ground commander siya ang mag-immediately mag-conduct siya og inquiry kung kanang na gakahitabo nga public assembly is covered ba siya og permit or wala. The PNP shall exhaust all peaceful remedies to persuade the demonstrator to disperse. So, the PNP must first try all peaceful ways like talking and negotiating to convince the demonstrator to end the assembly before using any force. So, una, dapat yun istoryahon sa ang mga ga-demonstrate or ang garali na i-convince sila sa mga peaceful nga pamaagi nga pagsama sa pag-istorya, pag-negotiate, ay sa magamit og force or kanang puwersa kung sila dili gyud sila gapato or gamit na sila og mga violentist. Number 3. During breach of peace, confrontational stage with or without permit, no public assembly with a permit shall be dispersed. However, when a public assembly becomes violent, the CDM contingents or civil disturbance management contingents may disperse such public assembly in the following manner. So, if the public assembly has a permit, it should be not be stopped. But if the assembly turns violent, the police in charge of crowd control or civil disturbance management or CDM are allowed to disperse it, but in a proper and peaceful procedure. So, kung ang public assembly na natabo is na sila permit, dili gyud na sila, bawal gyud na sila paundang. But kung kanang assembly is ang gakahitabo is violent na nanay gapang away or gapamato, ang police nga in charge sa crowd control or ang CDM, Civil Disturbance Management, allowed sila na ipaundang na public assembly, but in a proper and peaceful procedure, like istoryahon sa daan or makig-negotiate para makonvince sila na maundang na kay grabe na kabayolente. Number 4. During violent stage, non-lethal weapons and equipment may be used to suppress violence, to protect lives, and prevent further damage to properties. So, if the public assembly becomes violent, the police can use non-lethal weapons like shields, batons, water cannon to stop the violence, protect people, and prevent more damage. So, kung ang gakahitabo is grabe na ka-violente, ang mga police require sila na mogamit og weapons, pero katong mga non-lethal weapons like shield, batons, or water cannon para ma-stop ang violence or para dili na mas mulala, para maprotektahan ang uban nga wala na appeal, tas ma-prevent ang dako nga damage ana na pagkahitabo. 5. Post-operation stage. CDM or Civil Disturbance Management contingents shall be withdrawn after the area has been cleared of possible danger to public safety. So, after the rally is peacefully dispersed or end the gathering in a calm and non-violent way, the crowd has already gone home, the CDM or Civil Disturbance contingents are pulled out since there's no more danger to public safety. So, kung ang public assembly is nahuman siya, peaceful, walay gubot, o walay violente nga nahitabo, tas ang mga tawo is nakauli na pud sila sa ilahang mga panimalay, ang Civil Disturbance Management contingents is ipa-pulled out sila, ipapalakaw na sila anak na lugar kay wala naman siya danger nga mahitabo sa public safety.
Good morning, sir. My topic is all about dispersal of public assembly. So, ang dispersal of public assembly is isa ka proseso nga ginahunong o ginapauli sa mga otoridad ang mga taong nagtipon sa publiko nga lugar. Halimbawa, nagrally, demonstration na walay permit o galabag sa kondisyon sa permit. Pero kung kani nagpasa of application sa permit sa mayor 5 days bago ang rally, magdesisyon nga automatic approve. My next topic is demolition and injectment order. So, ang demolition is isa ka utos gikan sa korte o sa tamang ahensya ng gobyerno na ang mga tinayo na istruktura, gusali, tindahan na illegal at walang permit, pwede itong gubain o tanggalin. Then, next is injectment order. Kung naay tao na nagpuyo sa dili nila yuta, pwede sila ipapahawa pinaagi sa injectment order. So, Based sa Urban Development and Housing Act of 1992, ang eviction and demolition kailangan nga likayan nga dili buhaton kay kini makapanghasol sa ubang tawo. Kung kinahanglan gyud nga ipahawa ang mga tawo, kinahanglan nila ipamaagi sa legal nga proseso. In the execution of eviction or demolition orders involving underprivileged and homeless citizens, the following shall be mandatory: RA 7279, 1992, Section 28. Mauni ang proseso pamaagi sa pag-eviction or demolition. First, notice. Upon the affected person is kinahanglan tagaan o pahibalo sa sulod sa 30 ka adlaw bago ipapatuman ang eviction or demolition. Second is consultation. Kinahanglan adunay pagsabot o pagstorya nga magsiguro nga patas ang pagkasinabot sa tanan. Third, presensya gikan sa local government units. Kinahanglan adunay opisyal sa lokal nga gobyerno nga motambo nga transparent ug naay pulisya nga nagbantay sa pagproseso sa eviction or demolition. Fourth is proper identification of all persons taking part in the demolition para malikayan ang illegal o walay otoridad nga moapil. So, ikalima, ang pagpatuman sa husto nga oras nga regular hour sa sulod sa Lunes padulong Biyernes nga dili pwede pud buntag kaayo o gabi pud kaayo or baha or gaulan. Pero pwede siya kung musugot ang mga pamilya sa pamaagi sa demolition. 6 is no heavy equipment. Kung ang barong-barong ra or light materials lang, dili na mugamit or bakuba or bulldozer. 7 is dapat ang Philippine National Police is naka-uniform pag demolition o eviction. 8, adequate a relocation. Dapat ang mga tao nga na kuan o demolition, dapat tagaan sila og permanent or temporary nga kapuy-an. Ang rules sa PNP sa demolition or ejection order, ang tabang sa kapulisan sa pagpahigayon sa demolition or ejection order, ihatag ra kung adunay sulat nga formal nga hangyo gikan sa sheriff. Kinahanglan adunay klaro nga request nga sulat o legal nga dokumento aron masiguro ang ilang tabang nasa saktong proseso. Ang sheriff is ang mao ang tagatuman sa sugo sa korte nga magpadala og notice or summon.
Lupong tagapagpamayapa. There is hereby created in each barangay a body known as a lupong tagapagpamayapa o ginatawag siya nga lupon. Composed ni siya of barangay captain as a chairman and not less than 10 or more than 20 members. So kanang like mga kagawad niya. And the lupon shall be constituted every 3 years. So 3 years lang yung term, no? And 3 years lang, like for example, kagawad and captain, so after 3 years mag-election na sad. And then who may be appointed members of the lupon. So ang pwede lang ani is any person actually residing in the barangay. So dapat kung gusto ka nga ma-appeal sa members sa kanang lupong tagapagpamayapa is dapat residing ka na ang barangay. Number 2 is not otherwise expressly disqualified by law. So dapat wala ka na convict or wala ka niagi og kapreso nga with turpitude, with moral turpitude. So kung mayon tag moral turpitude no is mo ni mga crime nga under sa revised penal code, just like murder, homicide, infanticide, mga inana. So when we say moral turpitude is kanang sakit siya itself or like kanang pinaka bawal siya. Number 2 is not otherwise expressly disqualified by law. So dapat wala ka niagi og ka-convict nga ang imong pagka-convict is with moral turpitude. So when we say moral turpitude, mga crime nga under sa revised penal code just like murder, infanticide, ug homicide, and many more. And number 3 is possessing integrity, impartiality, independence of mind, sense of fairness, and reputation for probity. In short, dapat dili ka bias na kay baruganan sa imong kagalingon. So mo na ang mga members nga mo na ang mga attitude or mga karakteristik nga pwede ka mahimong member sa lupot.